Have you ever heard a sound in your home that has no reason to be there? A faint scratching inside a wall, a floorboard creaking in an empty room, or perhaps a gentle rhythmic knocking from a place that should be silent. Most of us dismiss it, the house settling, the pipes, our imagination. But what if, just once, you listened closer? What if you discovered that the sound wasn't random, it was a response? This is the story of the echo in the attic. And a warning, by the end, you might start listening to the silences in your own home a little differently. Sarah never intended to buy the old Victorian house on Maple Drive. It was too big, too isolated, and the estate agent had a nervous twitch when showing the attic. But the price was a steal, and Sarah, a freelance writer craving quiet, saw only potential in the dust and shadows. The first week was peaceful. The only sound was the wind through the ancient oak trees. Then, on the 8th night, it began. A soft, tentative tap, 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 coming from directly above her bedroom ceiling. Just a branch, she told herself, pulling the blanket higher. The next night it returned. Tap, tap, tap. More deliberate this time. 3 taps, a pause, then 3 taps again. It went on for exactly 1 hour, stopping at midnight on the dot. Rational explanations crumbled one by one. No trees touched that side of the house. The inspector found no animals. The knocking had a pattern and intelligence to it. Driven by a mix of fear and stubborn curiosity, Sarah did something foolish. As the tapping began on the 3rd night, she grabbed a flashlight, marched to the hallway, and pulled down the folding attic stairs. The dusty, cold air that rushed down smelled of old wood and something else, something faintly metallic like wet soil. The beam of her light cut through the darkness, illuminating floating dust and old trunks. In the far corner, barely visible, was a small leather-bound journal. As she reached for the journal, the tapping stopped. The silence that followed was heavier, more oppressive than the sound had ever been. The journal belonged to a boy named Elias who lived in the house in the 1920s. The entries started cheerfully, filled with drawings of his toy soldiers. Then they changed. "My father says the noise is just the house, but it talks to me. It knocks, and I knock back. We play a game." The final entry was a single scrawled sentence, the handwriting frantic. "I told it my name. Now it won't stop saying it back." Sarah slammed the book shut, her blood running cold. That's when she heard it, not from the attic, but from the wall right beside her head. A whisper, so faint it could have been the wind, but it formed 2 distinct syllables. Elias. The game had a new player. The next few days were a blur of dread. The knocking migrated. It came from behind the kitchen cabinets, inside the fireplace flue, under the floorboards of her office. Each time it would mimic a simple pattern she had made. Tapping her pencil 3 times would be answered with 3 knocks. It was learning, communicating. Desperate, Sarah searched local archives online. She found a single chilling paragraph in a digitized newspaper from 1924. Tragedy at Maple Drive. The only son of the Miller family, Elias, was found deceased in the home. The coroner noted the boy suffered from acute auditory hallucinations, claiming to be in conversation with the house itself. No foul play suspected. He hadn't just heard the knocking, he had answered it, and it had followed him into his mind, or perhaps something had. The final descent began one stormy night. The power went out. In the pitch black, the knocking wasn't timid anymore. It was a furious, relentless banging that shook the walls, coming from every direction at once. And beneath it, the whisper, now a chorus of voices, all repeating the same thing. Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. It knew her name. She had never said it out loud in the house. In a final act of terrified defiance, she stood in the center of the living room, flashlight trembling in her hand, and screamed at the darkness, "What do you want?" The banging stopped instantly. The silence was deafening. Then, from the attic door above her, came 3 slow, deliberate, and deafeningly loud thumps. It wasn't asking to come out. It was demanding she come in. Sarah did not go into the attic. She fled that night, leaving almost everything behind. She told friends she hated the isolation. The new owners, a young couple, report no issues. The house on Maple Drive is quiet again. But sometimes, late at night, Sarah wakes up in her new modern apartment, and she hears it, a single soft tap from inside her bedroom wall, and she knows you don't find the echo. Once you listen, the echo finds you. So, the next time you're alone and you hear a bump in the night, ask yourself, are you really alone, or have you just not been introduced yet? If you dared to listen until the end, I have your respect. Share this story with a friend who needs a chill, and subscribe for more tales that linger long after the video ends, because in the shadows, we're just getting started.